Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Your support really does mean the world. Today is another episode of my ongoing Where to Start with the Big Finish range of Doctor Who audio adventures, where we examine some good jumping on points for newcomers and those who are unsure just exactly where to start with a huge back catalogue. I know that being faced with the hundreds of titles on offer can be intimidating, but it needn't be. I hope that this series of videos goes some way to helping you make that first decision and allows you to jump into the amazing world of Big Finish. Today, we're looking at their fifth regular release, The Fearmonger, starring Sylvester McCoy as the Doctor and Sophie Aldred as Ace. So let's dive in. Doctor Who had ran for 26 years on the BBC, but in December 1989 the adventures came to an abrupt conclusion as the show was quietly shelved and the Doctor and his companion Ace walked off into the wilderness years and, we thought, into obscurity.
Where to now, Ace?
Home.
Home?
The TARDIS.
Yes, the TARDIS. There are worlds out there where the sky's burning, where the sea's asleep and the rivers dream. People made of smoke and cities made of song. Some of there's danger, some of there's injustice, and somewhere else the tea's getting cold. Come on, Ace. We've got work to do.
But in 1999, Big Finish Productions began releasing regular new adventures featuring classic actors and monsters from the TV show. And when The Fearmonger was released, well, it really felt like a natural continuation of where the TV series had ended and the Seventh Doctor and Ace were back. Recorded in September 1999 and released in February 2000, The Fearmonger was written by Jonathan Blum and directed by Gary Russell. In addition to the regular cast, this release features Blake Seven regular Jacqueline Pearce as the hard-right politician Sherilyn Harper, leader of the sinister New Britannia political party. So let's take a look at the plot. This taken from the Big Finish website. One would-be assassin is in a mental ward, another's on the run. Their intended victim is stirring up the mobs. Terrorists are planning a strike of their own. A talk radio host is loving every minute of it. A Whitehall insider whispers about a mysterious UN operative with a hidden agenda. Everyone's got someone they want to be afraid of. It'll only take a little push for the situation to erupt, and something is doing the pushing. But you can trust the Doctor to put things right, can't you? I need to be honest at this point. I really love The Fearmonger. It's a shining example of exactly what Big Finish were capable of doing in the medium. Despite it now being 24 years old, The Fearmonger is no less relevant and topical than it was upon release. Dealing with the rise of right-wing rhetoric, sowing fear among the masses for their own ends, and all the while being amplified by willing media, The Fearmonger really does look at many issues we're still sadly dealing with today. Similar to the character of Vivienne Rook from the 2019 miniseries Years and Years, written by Russell T Davies, you'll surely recognise the type of politician that Sherilyn Harper represents. We see the same kind of thing in our news each day. Using soundbites such as God-fearing white taxpayer and drive you back to where you came from, the power of words to entice, excite and inflame and how they can be used to devastating effect is explored triumphantly.
People these days are afraid, and with good reason. Afraid of the lawless gangs and the drugs and violence they bring into our cities. Afraid of our nation losing ever more control to the rest of Europe. Afraid to speak simple truths for fear of being labelled politically incorrect or worse. As the world gets smaller and smaller, as Europe breathes down our neck and Asia clamours for a larger piece of our pie, we are ever more under threat from these people. People directly hostile to our way of life. My friends, I knew I had to speak here today in front of all of you to show that they will not scare us off, that we will continue to speak up in the name of decent, God-fearing, hard-working, tax-paying white people throughout this country.
The attempt to look at real-world issues through the lens of sci-fi and the increase in thematic writing which we've seen a huge focus on during the Cartmel years is prevalent here and really helped to anchor this story in the era of the show that it was trying to emulate. Fans of season 25 and 26 will be at home here, and if you've got to the end of the classic run of Doctor Who and want more from what the show was offering at the time, then The Fearmonger is definitely where you should start. But what The Fearmonger really does best, and why I think it's a great place to start on your Big Finish journey, is that it brings back the Seventh Doctor and Ace as if no time had passed since the end of Survival, and that this is Season 27, Episode 1. It's worth noting though that Big Finish will, in later years, release their own version of the aborted Real Life Season 27, but more on that in a later episode. Possibly. Sylvester and Sophie sound amazing, slipping right back into their characters and dynamic with ease. It's a pleasure to hear them back, and they have lost none of the chemistry that made their area of the show so special.
All right, which way?
You're asking me?
You were the one watching the scanner.
Yeah, and you saw how many blips there were on it. How am I supposed to tell his body heat from anyone else's?
Well, try one that was away from the others.
Oh, all right then. This way. But what if he's not backstage? He could be out there in the audience.
Then he'd have to go through the security checks with everyone else. Now, what's the best way to avoid security measures?
Don't be there when they have them? Ah, so he came here last night before they sealed the place off. Of course.
Very good.
Pity we didn't think of it last night then.
Yes. Keep an eye out for the security guards.
Ultimately, The Fearmonger is a great audio drama, great Doctor Who, and great sci-fi, and it's definitely worth your time. If you think that The Fearmonger is a release you would like to check out, then please do visit www.bigfinish.com and click on that download button. It's only $2.99, and if you can get it when it's on sale, then it'll be even cheaper. Spotify, and I'm told Apple Music, also have this one completely free to listen to, so there's really no excuse not to give it a go. I'm positive that you won't be disappointed. So that's The Fearmonger. I really hope that you found this useful, and do let me know in the comments below if you're going to choose this release. Let me know what you thought. I love to hear your comments. Please do also let me know if you've already heard this one, and if you agree with me, and even if you don't. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please do give it a thumbs up, share far and wide, and subscribe if you feel inclined to. All your support is massively appreciated. I'll be back soon with another Big Finish release for your consideration, but until then, goodbye for now.